religious violence hits Pakistan hard. Dozens are dead, and here in Alberta, relatives mourn the dead. Hello, this is Omni News South Asian Edition. I'm Binder Sajjan. Our top story tonight, attacks in Pakistan. Gunmen descended on 2 mosques in Lahore with guns, bombs and grenades. The religious places packed with worshippers for Friday prayers. The target? Members of a minority group, the Ahmadiyas. They are a group considered infidels by many Muslims. During the siege, over 80 people were killed, dozens more injured. While the attacks indicate a deep religious divide, they also point to a disturbing trend: increased violence as Pakistan battles insurgents.
The upscale locality of Model Town in Pakistan's second biggest city turned into a war zone. Members of the anti-terror task force took up positions and armored vehicles surrounded a large mosque where gunmen had launched a brazen attack. Television footage showed one of the attackers aiming and firing and then ducking as he fired back at the police forces. It seems the attackers had come armed to the teeth and ready to fight to the death. But what was unfolding below inside the packed mosque compound was a lot more gruesome. Witnesses say just as Friday prayers had ended, at least 3 gunmen entered the mosque and started firing and throwing grenades indiscriminately, killing scores of worshippers. After a gun battle lasting for hours, police announced they had captured one of the attackers while 2 may have fled. But for those whose loved ones had gone to the mosque to perform their weekly religious duty, it was already too late. As ambulances moved in to carry the injured to hospital, they found dozens of dead bodies. Another mosque in the nearby town of Garhi Shahu was also attacked by at least 2 gunmen. Casualties there were even more, as the attackers are believed to have blown themselves up using suicide vests while holding worshippers hostage. Both the mosques belong to the minority sect of the Ahmadiyya community, which is considered non-Muslim in Pakistan, has often faced persecution. But it has never been this brutal or this bloody. Today's shootings were the worst attack in Pakistan since March 12th. Suicide attacks seconds apart killed 57 people in Lahore while targeting the Pakistani military. 9 attacks have now killed more than 220 people in Lahore over the past year, a historical and cultural city, a playground for the elite, and home to many top brass in Pakistan's military and intelligence establishment.
Suspicion for the attack is falling on the Pakistani Taliban, but that is of little consolation for the millions of Ahmadiyyas worldwide. Community members in Alberta say the lack of tolerance in their homeland forced them to flee. Now they say it's time for understanding and perhaps better security in Pakistan. Al Halim reports.
This was supposed to be a regular Friday afternoon prayer at Edmonton's Al-Hadi Ahmadiyya Mosque, but today was far from ordinary. It's an emotional day for these worshippers. Earlier this morning, they received word of simultaneously coordinated attacks at 2 Ahmadiyya mosques in Lahore. The terror acts may have happened thousands of miles away, but the effects are being felt even here in Canada. Mubashir Ahmed had 4 cousins and 3 uncles at the mosques in Lahore today.
They were stuck in there for more than 3 hours. And my cousin actually died because they had kept him hostage, and he had a bullet in his leg, and he actually died because of the blood loss.
Ahmed received a phone call from a family member who recounted the horrific ordeal.
It was horrible even to listen to that, because they literally threw the hand grenades in the mosque, shut the doors, and then the people who got injured, they were firing on those people to kill them.
Khalid Chaudhry lost a cousin today who was the president of the Model Town Mosque in Lahore.
This kind of stuff is happening all the time, and hate is there, You are living in a village or in a city, they know you are Ahmadi. Everybody, they look at you in a different, So this stuff is ongoing stuff.
In 1984, the sect was officially declared non-Muslim under the country's constitution. Ahmadiyyas have been targeted in Pakistan before. They're shunned by mainstream Muslims because they do not believe Muhammad was the last prophet of Islam. Instead, they believe this man, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, to be the last prophet. Hardline Sunnis consider the Ahmadiyyas to be heretics, and it's these beliefs which drove Dr. Nadeem Mian to flee his homeland.
In '73, I had to run away from medical school, hostel, the same way, running for my life, and they burned everything that I had.
His older brother survived today's attack, but his brother's father-in-law wasn't as fortunate.
It's difficult to describe, I guess. I mean, you come here in this country, you sit there, you don't have any fear of those kind of things. And over there, you just, what are you doing? Just saying prayers, and that's it. And you're not harming any person, and then suddenly this kind of thing happened.
The Ahmadiyya community in Calgary also held a press conference today.
Anyone who kills anyone, any innocent person is a terrorist. Whether it is a Muslim killing another Muslim, or it's one faith group killing another faith group, or even on political grounds, this is the terrorist activity anyway.
And there's hope that both the Canadian and Pakistani governments will intervene.
They should take this very seriously and put some pressure on authorities in Pakistan so that this kind of heinous act would not happen again.
While it's yet to be confirmed, a number of groups, including the Punjab wing of the Pakistan Taliban, have claimed responsibility for the attacks. Adil Halim, Omni News, Edmonton.